All right, so thank you for taking the time to speak with me, Tom. As I'm sure you're aware, I'm quite brand new to Australia, have been settling in well, had a quick start to my career with a couple of placements, joined a rugby team, made some good friends, and just like that, no more beaches, no more rugby, no more socialising in groups of more than two, and now I find myself working from home 5 days a week. As of course, you and I managed to meet through a LinkedIn outreach. And what I've noticed online is that the world is swamped with every man and his dog giving their best remote working tips after working from home for a couple of weeks, and for anyone that's active on LinkedIn. So although I do really like it, I think the last thing right now is another person showing their working from home space or a funny kind of team Zoom meeting. So the reason why I got you on this call today is to get your perspective, as you work for probably one of the only Silicon Valley companies that has started and scaled as a pure play remote workforce. So to get things started, I thought it would be great if I could get a bit of an overview of your background up until this point.
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Tom Richardson. I'm the Managing Director for InVision in Asia Pacific, based here in Sydney, and responsibility for InVision across the region through Japan, China, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, New Zealand, etc. For those of you who don't know anything about InVision, so InVision is a design software company. Essentially, we help some of the world's largest companies, in fact, 100% of the Fortune 100 companies, to build prototypes and to build design systems online and in the cloud. And InVision is growing rapidly across Asia Pacific, and I was brought into the business in June of last year to head up APAC. Prior to that, I was actually in Boston in the US and spent 5 years at another high growth software company called Acquia, which was sold for $1 billion last August. And that was an amazing ride through from 60 million revenue so to 200 million plus in revenue, and everything that goes with that, pains and the excitement of all that comes with scaling. So really interesting experience. I think continues to help me in my career today. Before that, I was with WPP, the world's largest marketing communications company, about 200,000 people in about 250 different companies within the group. And I was on something called the WPP Fellowship Program, which is essentially a management fast track scheme devised by Sir Martin Sorrell, the founder and former CEO of WPP. And the idea there was to spend 3 years on 3 different continents in 3 different parts of WPP's business. And so I spent a year in London in market research, a year in Shanghai doing digital marketing, and then a year in California in account management. And then through that, got to know the team at Acquia, which is where I was before InVision. So it's a little bit about my background. I spent 2 years in Japan out of university, and at one time spoke fluent Japanese, but somewhat lapsed since that time. So.
Oh, incredible. Yeah. The first thing I noticed when I saw your profile is that you've got this massive global reach. It's like you haven't set in one place. It looks like you've seen an opportunity and you've gone for it. Has that been the case for you?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And my poor parents, because I have 3 children, and they have they're their only grandchildren so far. Although my brother is hopefully going to get on with it sometime soon. But it's tough for them because I was living in Boston. It was a 6-hour flight, and then now in Sydney it's even further. And I keep disappointing them by not returning home to the UK. But I think the more I see of the world, the more I want to see, and that's been one of the themes since pretty much as an 18-year-old went off to Vietnam for 6 months and was pretty much hooked on travel, and since spent some time in South America, worked in Shanghai, in Tokyo, and the US for 7 years, and now my wife is Australian, so it was a great opportunity for us with InVision to come down to Australia and to get to know the technology scene in Sydney.